Hey guys, I bet no one out there would run their engine all year without doing a solid checkup on the oil, spark plugs, and essential fluids. But when's the last time you popped the hood on your mental health and made sure everything was running smoothly? Well, now you can. Go to mantherapy.org and take the 18-point head inspection. It only takes a few minutes, and you'll find out if there are any areas of your life that might need a little tune-up. Man Therapy. Therapy the way a man does it. Brought to you by the ADAMHS Board of Tuscarawas and Carroll Counties and Empower Tusk.
It's 8:20 now, 65 degrees on the boulevard, and we do begin that conversation with the ADAMHS Board of Tuscarawas and Carroll Counties. Michele, I'll leave the introductions more to you.
Yeah, we've got Natalie Bollen in here. She's the executive director from the ADAMHS Board of Tuscarawas County. And good morning, Natalie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It is such a beautiful day outside today.
It's so beautiful. I love the sunshine.
Yes, we were talking about we have the windows down and the air coming in. And also, you came in, you're like, that's my son. He's doing great for Philly baseball.
Oh, we just had a tremendous win last night. It was great.
Good
I'm still
for him.
riding that high. Yep.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we've been talking all month long with different organizations, just providing our community members with resources, letting them know that they aren't alone, and there are things that they can do to help them out if they are struggling. And this new... Is it an initiative, this Man Therapy? I've never heard of it before. I kind of wanted to dive into that and kind of pick your brain about what that means and what it is.
Well, it has been around for a little while, but it only came to Ohio recently when the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation grabbed onto this campaign and rolled it out across the state. We know that men, people in general, but really especially men, struggle to talk about when they're having a hard time. And I've never met anyone who hasn't had a hard time or who wouldn't benefit from some type of supportive counseling or interaction. So Ohio realized that they have to come up with a creative and inventive way to reach men where it can't be all touchy-feely.
Right.
It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek approach, but the Man Therapy website is intended to be a little bit of a comedy way to break down the stigma related to mental health. And so they have little videos on their site that talk about pop your hood and check your engine so you can check your mental health. And they do have really more serious and appropriate questionnaires to help men determine privately and quietly if whatever they're experiencing is significant enough to take that next step and get help.
And why are we, we always focus on everyone in general, but what's the importance here of focusing in on the male population?
Oh, our men are suiciding at a higher rate than our women by far. 70% of our suicides in Tuscarawas County are male, and over 70% are males age 40 and over. So that is really a population that not only in Tuscarawas and Carroll County, but the state of Ohio is trying to target, because when you have numbers like that and you see that demographic in a population that's struggling, you want to put all of your effort toward it.
And why do we think that men have such a hard time talking about it? Is it the ego? Is it just, the stereotypical male?
I think that there's two things. I think that we bring up our men, at least historically, maybe more in my generation than hopefully the generations coming after, that you're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to bear it quietly and you're not supposed to talk about it when you're struggling. And that's the kind of theory and philosophy that gets our men over 40 committing suicide at that high of a rate. The other thing, I think it's really scary to take that first step to go into counseling. Mm-hmm. So whether it's going into an office or whether it's doing something over your computer or over phone, there are a lot of options and ways for men to get support without anybody knowing or anybody seeing. The stigma related to mental health and getting treatment is still high. It's decreased over the past 3 years, especially since COVID. But there still is that struggle to identify it's at the point where I need to get some additional support.
So you mentioned resources in Tuscarawas County. Talk to us a little bit about what, say, a male between those age ranges, or even just anyone really struggling, what kind of resources do we provide for them?
Well, there are a lot of support groups. We know that mental health and addiction often go hand in hand, and we know that men and women mask and cover some of the struggles they're having, whether it's depression or anger or trauma, by using substances to numb that. So we really do have a tremendous drug and alcohol treatment system. We can help get individuals into detox. There's residential treatment facilities that we can help get individuals to. All of that depends on your level of addiction. There's groups, there's outpatient therapy, there's telecounseling, there's medication. It really is a vast and wide spectrum. And if it happens to be something we don't have in Tuscan Carroll, we have individuals who will connect you with whatever it is that you need.
If somebody wants to, get in touch with you and they're afraid to, how do you reach those people?
I know that for them, it is a very vulnerable and a very difficult conversation. But for me, I get those phone calls all the time, every day. If I don't take it, someone in my office takes it. So it is nothing new to us. The ADAMHS board is a division of county government. So we're prohibited from doing direct service. So you can't come to our office and get counseling or case management, but it's our job to know what's available in the system of care. So I always say, whenever I do presentations or interviews like this, we are a great place to start because we can talk about what your needs are, what your availability is, and then make that connection to one of our local services.
That's amazing. You've got to feel so good about getting somebody the help that they need and hoping and watching them, get better throughout their care.
I love my job. I am in the right field for me. Every time I am able to help someone make a connection and get that treatment that they need, it is so validating. And I know that not every time is a successful experience. Sometimes it takes people a couple times even to find a counselor that fits or a treatment that fits. But they're out there. The opportunities are out there, and we just want to do what we can to help the community.
We were talking a little bit before you went on the air, and there was a project that you kind of partnered with Leadership Tuscarawas regarding this man therapy and the stigma around men seeking help. Can you talk to us about that project?
That was a tremendous partnership, and thank you, Empower Tusk, for making that happen. Leadership Tusk was presented with an opportunity to help us find how to reach Tuscarawas County men. Because Tuscarawas County men, the outreach to them is going to be different than Cleveland men or Columbus men. So what is the best way for us to get the message to them and make that connection? And so Empower Tusk did a lot of focus groups and a lot of surveys with men in Tuscarawas County, helping us direct our messaging in a way that was going to reach the most men.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great group.
It was good.
Ryan, you're a man. Tell us. Like, maybe, not yet. What would you say to somebody maybe your age or, maybe a little bit older, if you see that they're struggling and how would you, help them or tell them what to do?
I think that's what makes this problem so difficult. I'm thinking about the people that are calling your offices, Natalie. I don't have experience with therapy. Every phone call you get, I imagine, and you have to be wondering, how do we reach the people that aren't calling? I mean, and of course, that Leadership Test Project is centered around that. I mean, if you have the statistics, what is the rate of those calling to those who are not? I mean, do you have numbers on that?
It's really funny. Excuse me. Most of the calls that we do get are a wife calling for her spouse or a mother calling for her adult son. And that's fine. Whatever it takes to get those opportunities to the men. I don't care who calls as long as someone is calling.
Yeah.
We are seeing a change, especially in the younger generation, for people that are willing to reach out. But it is by far the women that are calling for their spouses or their male loved ones.
I'm sure both of you know it's not easy to get through to us. That might be some of the most difficult challenges you're faced with.
Well, again, I think it comes back to I'm not supposed to be vulnerable. I'm supposed to handle this. And you want me to sit and talk about my feelings? And part of therapy can look like that, but it doesn't have to look like that. At the end of the day, it's your thoughts. It's the way that we're viewing a situation. It's a way that we are kind of ruminating and running it over and over and over in our mind and not being able to move past it. And so counseling doesn't have to be this touchy-feely experience. And there are different types of counselors. And if you're not comfortable with someone who really dives into that feeling side of it, then make it known when you call the agency, and they'll connect you with someone different. But my challenge always is, because I know that people are hesitant, try it for 3 sessions. If you hate it, do not go back. You never have to go back. But those 3 sessions will give you a feeling of whether or not this is something that is going to be beneficial to me, and if I connect with a counselor or not. 3 sessions.
I think it's the most important to give those 3 sessions a try, and just to know that you have a loved one calling on your behalf because they want to see you get better. They don't want to see you turn to drugs and alcohol. They don't want to see you take your life in a way that you could never come back, and that I think is the most important takeaway, is that somebody is there for you and then want to see you get better.
And life is hard. Life can be hard. The human existence has trauma and stress and tragedy. And you don't have to go through it alone, and you can go through it very privately. And I can't help but think that there's someone, maybe a male, listening to this right now and kind of tossing it around or rolling it around in his head. And I just want to, again, encourage him or encourage his wife to call so we can find an opportunity that feels the most comfortable in an uncomfortable situation for him.
What's the best way to get in touch with your office so you can, get that person the right help that they need?
Our office number is 330-364-6488, and we always have someone available to answer the phone.
And I did check out that Man Therapy website. It does look really funny, very tongue-in-cheek. It looks like it would be something that, guys would gravitate towards. So if you want to check that out, that's at mantherapy.org. Natalie, thank you so much for coming in this morning. I think this is such an important conversation, not just for men, but for everybody. And mental health is, I think, making strides in becoming more acceptable and not so much of a stigma anymore. And I think you're doing a great job helping with that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
Of course.